This is culturally appropriate. You see what I did there? Culturally inappropriate, culturally appropriate. Yeah. Oh, I forgot to take my bracelets off. Let me do that so I won't be clinging in your ear. Welcome back, man. Welcome back. First of all, offhand, off rip, I got to say it. This has been a masterful clinic in hip hop and rap and just emceeing. If you don't know, if you've been living under a rock, literally for the past, I would say 2 months, much anticipated for the past few months regarding this Clipse album. When I say Clipse, I mean Pusha T and his brother Malice, formerly known as No Malice, but formerly known as Malice. If you was there, you understand what I'm saying. Virginia's Own Clipse came out with an album together for the first time in years, and we have missed them. I don't know about you guys, but I say this over and over again. I'm an avid hip hop fan. And I just have not been seeing any of the conversation from the girlies out here. And I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I'm a consumer, so I definitely have been on every YouTube video, every kind of reaction video talking about this album, Let God Sort 'Em Out, that came out last Friday. Like, I've been waiting on this. As soon as they announced the date of release, I have been personally counting down the days until this album came out. That's how motivated I was. That's how intrigued I was to see how this was going to turn out. I mean, just from the days of beating on a desk with a pen and a pencil. Now, I wasn't doing the beats on the desk, but I was sitting around the dudes doing it, just listening to them freestyle terribly, and just being a cheerleader because that beat was just so contagious. It was definitely a time where we were able to kind of like fellowship in the lunchroom. But anyways, if you was there, you know what I'm talking about. So as an adult, as a millennial, woman who grew up on this type of era, I was elated when I heard that they was coming out again with an album. I mean, Lord Willing was a classic of its own that came out in the early 2000s. And for me, while the Clipse per se wasn't in the forefront of everyone's minds, let's be honest here. The Clipse wasn't in the forefront of everyone's minds, when it came down to best rap groups. I would say, I think we've always mentioned Outkast with Andre and Big Boy. We've always mentioned NWA. We've always mentioned, we always mentioned Public Enemy. We always mentioned Mobb Deep, any kind of duo group where you had people who, you had the crazy one, you had the one that was the lyrical one, you had the one that was grounding the other one. There was always some great groups out there, but the Clipse kind of always fell a little bit below top 5 when it came to rap groups. I don't know about you guys. I know that might be a hot take, but I'm just going to be honest with you. I was raised in the South, and Virginia is considered the South. And while we had rap groups, while we talked a lot about rap groups, Clipse were, I would say, maybe 5, maybe 6 when it came to that conversation. And for me, again, I was raised around men who rapped. I was raised around family who just loved music, and we were having these conversations. And so they were a group that were up and coming, and we were looking forward to what they were doing. But as we know, after a certain time, Malice decided he wanted to step aside and focus on his relationship with God, which I solely commend him on. But Push continued on to produce classic albums with Pharrell and Kanye West, and the infamous Daytona, My Name Is My Name, like all the things. And so we've championed Push along this whole time. So to bring up the Clipse, for them to come back and kind of reclaim their era of just coke rap at its finest, the luxury rap, the coke rap, the high caliber rap, the cadence, the different kind of flows that they had, to come back and just still be at a high caliber in their 50s, for God's sake. It's just a masterclass, and I cannot be happier for them to come back and just show everybody that they're still competing at a high level. all the shade and all the, rap beefs aside, because we know that's today, this is kind of something that you do to help boost your sales, to help, stimulate conversations about who's better. Like since the Aubrey and Kendrick beef, we kind of just seen an elevation and a, influx of rappers just wanting to test each other out and see who was better. And that's fine. That's all for good sport. I think that I would prefer that, where people are rapping and staying on staying on the track. I would rather that than them really be beefing in real life. But we just know that that's part of marketing at this point for rappers to go at each other. So Pusha, going at Jim Jones, going at Travis Scott, going at, whoever. And Malice just being a big brother, having his back. It's been good to see. Like, honestly, as a rap fan, as a girly who enjoys, a good Pharrell beat just as much as I enjoy a good lip gloss. I'm just in that demographic, and I just wanted to sit here. I wanted to talk today just about, a female perspective of this whole thing, because honestly, I just haven't seen it. I've seen, again, so many rap videos and reaction videos and conversations surrounding this thing, what could people say be arguably the best album of the year, rap album of the year at least, with the best verses of the year at least. I just hadn't heard women talk about it. And I just want to make sure that our voices are being heard. Okay. We're not just, cruising in our Altimas listening to Summer Walker all day. No shade to Summer. I love her too. But that's just not what we're doing all the time. I have my playlist of just hot foolishness, okay? And some good rap, because that's just what I enjoy when I'm cruising, when I'm on my way to work, when I'm on my way out in the city with my girls, when I'm out with my man. That's what I want to hear. You know what I'm saying? And so I feel like women need to be able to speak up and talk about, what their opinions are on it. Shout out to Gina Views, who has a show with DJ Head, like Nyla Simone, like, Lauren LaRosa and Just Hilarious on the Breakfast Club. Like women who are, able to cover these topics and have some information and just be able to share their honest opinion as avid hip hop consumers. And so I feel like I got something to say too. Okay. So, this Clipse album, let's just, we all know, we've seen it in the past few hours. It came out, it dropped on a Monday. This new video titled Chains and Whips. Now, this is an old song. This song debuted, over a year ago at a fashion show. And it was one of the ones that we were like, okay, is this going to be on the album? If this is going to be on the album, then we need to go ahead and tune in. So when this came out during the fashion show, I want to say it's the LV fashion show with Pharrell. The Clipse, even walked in it and all the things. I feel like it was kind of like a disclaimer as to what was going to come. Now, mind you, it wasn't even the best song on the album, because I've been listening to this album since Friday. Okay. When it dropped, as soon as it hit midnight, it was like 12:05. I was a little late, my bad, but it was 12:05 and I tuned in, and, the whole album in itself, I was like, hold up, is this what, and are we doing this now? Like, when we talk about hip hop being an art form, the Clipse have been doing a phenomenal job in showcasing what that art form could look like. Okay. We all know, we've all seen Kendrick Lamar throughout his whole career, showcase hip hop as an art form, so much to the point where this man won a Pulitzer. Okay. He was not afraid to make his videos cinematic. He was not afraid to make his, even his cover art, art piece in a sense, showcasing vulnerability, showcasing the many facets of the Black experience, his own experience. So that's Kendrick. We know how it comes from Kendrick, from the Jay-Z's, from the Kendricks, from the, from the Kanye's, even though Kanye has just been doing it way too much lately. But historically, Kanye West was definitely a part of that conversation. So the Clipse, they've been doing, grandiose things and making kind of a high caliber of an art form of rap. But for this particular rollout, they have paid a close attention to the details on how their stuff looks. And, whether it was sampling songs or sampling material from the Middle East and changing it in a way that, kind of like allows them to flow on a beat effortlessly, or whether it was them showcasing symbolism. So like take this video in particular. It begins with a baby kind of like moving in the cadence of the beat. Like already it's kind of blowing your mind. The way that the faces are being warped, kind of like in a testament to how our culture is stretched and shifted, and how we're stretched and shifted as a people, and just to the bare minimum, to the bone for this country, and how black women are literally the epitome of the building blocks of this country, and the symbol of the flag hiding the young black boy's face, and how that's kind of like overshadowing their experience. Like it was just going so deep, and even just the cinematography. Like, me, I love film. I've been talking about film since partially this whole podcast, this whole channel started. Okay. And the cinematic displays, the coloring, the presets, the dark lighting, the contrast, the vignettes, the way that they even standing in the frame, just kind of like singular, and they're always wearing either black or white solid colors. Like I just love even just their skin in juxtaposition to a white background. Like just all the things just kind of like really make different pieces stand out. And it only adds to the luxury, and to the it only adds to the aesthetic of the music that they're putting out. Because think about it, if they were to put out these hard, just amazing raps, and then the video looked like straight grinding video, it's cool, but it's not going to hit the same. So as you can see, as their music has matured, so has their visuals. And so that, I think that should be applauded more than anything, because there's plenty of rappers out here that have not grown up, and their music reflects that. And not only does their music reflect that, but their visuals reflect that. Now, could it be due to budget? Sure. We all know that Pusha and Malice and, just Pharrell and himself, like they're making money out here. They've been making money doing a lot of great investments over the years. So they may have a bigger purse than a lot of the rappers who, might just be able to do a little car in the back with a girl shaking her ass. That might just be what they have. But I feel like there's a way creatively for you to get somebody involved that can kind of make it look like something. You know what I'm saying? So kudos to the Clipse for doing that. Kudos to the Clipse for taking their art seriously. I don't know who was I watching who said, probably Deontay Kyle, because I've been on him for a little minute now. Like he's been putting out great knowledge in his podcast. But anyways, he said, if you're going to do I'm paraphrasing, but basically do a lot with a little, because when you get a lot, then you'll be able to do a lot with that too. So if you can't do a lot with a little, then of course you're not going to do a lot with a lot. Pretty much that's how I perceived it, because at the end of the day, people will see how much you care about what you're doing. If it looked like you don't care, then we ain't gonna care. That's just how it goes. I don't care if you work at the Gap. If it don't look like you care, then I don't give a damn either. And so I feel like if you are an upcoming rapper, or if you're the biggest rapper, it's important for your audience to see how much you care about the work that you are putting out. Especially if it took you a while to do it and you put your blood, sweat, and tears into a product. Make sure that everybody understands that this is a quality product and you care about it. So shout out to the Clipse for doing that. And I hope this trend continues. I'm just going to keep, being a voice and an advocate for high quality entertainment, because at the end of the day, we have seen a lot of low quality entertainment in the past few years, like to the point where it was exhausting. And to see, something that kind of makes us feel proud, even though we didn't even put it together, I think that that's special. So shout out to the Clipse. Keep run up those streams for Let God Sort Them Out, because it deserves it. I can't wait for the POV video to roll out with Tyler the Creator. I already know with Tyler's mind, that's going to be it's gonna be great. So, and it's only gonna complement the song even more. Even the video with Nas, like, oh my gosh, anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself, but make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. Make sure that you guys are, keeping the chats up in the comments, send me a DM, let me know what you guys think, let me know what you want me to talk about, and I'm just gonna keep putting out some clips, so we can talk about it. So until next time, you guys be good, be easy. Bye.